Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. We're going to preview a couple of teams in college football that are projected to be in the mix to get into this new playoff system. By the way, 12 teams will make the college football playoff this year. So Michael DeCourcy is going to have his hands full following college sports, following not just hoops, but football as well. Michael, thanks for coming on NewsWire once again. Good to see you.
You too, Craig. And I can't tell you, I mean, as you can tell, I've been around for a while. And I've been waiting basically my entire life for this college football season. I never believed in the poll system. I never believed in the 14 playoff or the BCS system. It's not about what I think. That's the fundamental nature of college football for my entire life. I think that so-and-so is better than so-and-so, and that's how they decided to champion. Yeah. Now, finally, it comes down to you basically have to win. You have to win to get in. Now, they'll fill out the field with the at-large teams like every other college sport does. But if you win, like Florida State did a year ago, they can't say no. Right. And I feel bad for Florida State because they were like 1 year too early with their terrific undefeated team of a year ago. If that had happened in 2024, then a bunch of people in a room eating on the CFP dime couldn't have said no. They would have to be in. And so it's going to be really a wonderful college football season in many ways because of that, the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. People have asked me, am I excited for football season? And always am, and especially working here at SportsGrid. But I think this is, as you've said, very well put, going to be the best college football season of all time. I think it's going to be better than the NFL. I totally feel that way going into the season. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's start off with a team that I just simply hate talking about here on SportsGrid. But Mike, you want to do it? Let's do it. It's the most overrated team in the history of college football. The team that always you're paying a significant tax to bet on. They rarely cover point spreads, and it feels like 1 out of every 3 or 4 years they say, I told you so, and then every other year they fall flat. It is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who open up in a season once again, can't ever figure out these rankings, Mike, as one of the top teams in college football, inevitably, until they lose to somebody, and then we forget about them. Look, I understand their popularity. I would also say that their defense and their defensive backs, my understanding is going into the year, they're going to be as good as any team in football. I get that. But beyond that, what's to like about Notre Dame? Paint me a picture where Notre Dame wins it all.
Oh, I can't do that. And I can't even paint a picture for you, Craig, where they justify the preseason number 7 ranking, except one thing as I look at them, and that is the schedule. The schedule is, for a power team, about as good as it can get. You're in an independent situation, so you make your own schedule. So that means they don't shove Michigan down your throat, and they don't shove Alabama down your throat, or Texas, or whomever. You get to pick and choose, and they have not picked and choose a very difficult road for themselves this year. They do go to Texas A&M at the beginning of the season. Not the easiest opener, I'll give them that. They do have Florida State coming in to South Bend, and the rotation on the USC Notre Dame rivalry takes them to Southern California. That's often in the history of college football been a difficult trip for them. But overall, it's just not that difficult. And so that, I think, is what empowers them. They bring in a new quarterback in Riley Leonard, who showed nice flashes when he was starting for Duke, missed a half a year last year with injury, but really looks like a gifted player. But lost a 1,300-yard running back. And some teams, like, okay, they're going to get a lot better because they got a bunch of transfers. Nearly half of Notre Dame's transfers are walk-ons. Wow. So not exactly inspiring to see that group come in. I just don't see them in any way as the 7th best team in college football coming up this year. You know, I hope it works out for Marcus Freeman. I really admired his work at Cincinnati that he did with the defense when he was the DC with the Bearcats on their terrific teams at the early part of this decade. And I think he can do fine, but I just don't think he's going to do this fine this soon.
Yeah, I would agree on all fronts. What's really interesting here, Mike, is that when you look at their season win total, I almost feel like I would want more of an adjustment. If I could shop this and find a better number, we'll show it to you here on FanDuel. It's 10.5 is their over under. So if you go over that and that's your thing, then don't listen to me and take that plus 142. But I think we're on the same page here in thinking that they would go under the 10.5 wins. But I think, Mike, what I would do is I'd like to find a 10 so I don't have to lay this minus 176 because I'm not laying that on a season win total.
Well, see, the one advantage they have relative to that total is what I just talked about. They've got 3 difficult games. And if they go perfect through the others, which I suspect they probably will, if they win one of the 3 difficult games, they've pretty much gone over. And I think that's where the value is relative to that number. They just have to win one of them. And as I mentioned, the Florida State game, while possibly the most difficult on that schedule, in terms of the opponent, not the venue,
Right.
is at home. So that may be an advantage to them. Again, I don't think they're going to be the 7th best team, but that schedule is partly why I think a lot of people voted for them as high as they did, because they will look better than they actually are.
Makes sense. All right, let's go to Texas real quick. Do you feel the same way about the Longhorns? Their season win total is also 10.5.
Yeah, I see. What I worry about with Texas is that transition to the SEC. It's just different now. The Big 12 is not a poor conference, but it's not the SEC. And they will have difficulties, not only just with the opposition, but just the new environments, the transition to a new conference. That doesn't often go well. You go back to Miami in 2003 when they moved over to the ACC in 2004, and they automatically started to decline. Mizzou, same thing when they moved to the SEC. Pretty rare for you to have a great season in your first year in a new conference.
Great stuff, Mike. Appreciate it. It all begins next Saturday. Thanks again for coming on NewsWire.